with me about? Why would you?
What are you arguing with me about? You're saying that what I'm doing is wrong and that I'm not a Christian? Yes. But like, would you agree that like Muslims, is that a religion?
Yes. Islam is a religion, yes.
Islam is a religion, but like so Christianity is its own religion, but there's so many religions within just Christianity. Like Orthodox people call themselves Christians. So do Pentecostals, they call themselves Christians. So that's like the head of the umbrella.
It's the head.
Any religion that follows Christ is under the umbrella of Christianity. So like
I'm going to be talking way over her head to explain things to her. We're going to have to go over I'll just say this. You need to read church history. You need to educate yourself. You can't just snap your fingers and come
How does reading church history make you saved?
You cannot come on here and start telling people what Christianity is when you have no freaking clue what it is yourself. You just don't. I'm sorry.
So I don't know Jesus.
And learn. Learn first. This is what...
How does church history make you saved? How does church history make you saved?
You quit OF and started a ministry, and now you're out here teaching people.
I never started a ministry.
Podcast.
I never started a ministry.
Then why are you on here correcting people about theology?
What, your husband?
Don't know the first thing about
your husband who's calling me names? You're mad at me for correcting your husband who's calling me names and saying I'm not a Christian? Is that what you're mad about?
I'm saying you're not a Christian.
He also said I wasn't a Christian.
Damn.
Did you have something to say?
You can't be a Christian when you deny the tenets of Christianity. Sorry, you can't.
About like the communion. So basically for Catholics, there's something called transubstantiation, where when we go back and do like what's called like the Holy Thursday, where they said like, this is my body and I give it up to you. That whole part.
Is that like Taco Tuesday?
No. So that was basically at that point, like there has been cases where the like bread that they give us turns into actual flesh and the blood turns into actual blood, which it happened I think in Argentina. It happened in different places, and then they put it in like a specific thing and they do something called adoration.
That's so cool.
So that's what she's talking about. That is the whole point.
Well, she never explained that, number one. But like for me, it's like communion means something different for everyone. But communion means relationship. You are communing with the Holy Spirit. You are being in one. You are literally becoming like one with them.
Why are you telling me this when you don't have any clue you don't know what communion is from a Christian
my thing is like, why are you getting upset that I don't know church history when I literally just became a Christian? You're upset at me for that.
So stop telling me what communion is.
You asked me what my opinion was.
Donated $200.02. I can't believe you woke up Rachel to argue theology. Andrew could have covered this. What we really need from you is to tell these 304s what submission is,
let's talk
because they think it's egalitarianism.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Rachel. Sure. Submission.
Sure. I wanna understand how you guys think that the word submission means. I will allow you to lead with my express approval, which I may revoke at any time. Please explain to me how that in any way could possibly be the meaning of submission. It's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Lead if you can convince me, right? If I can be convinced that you are making a good decision, then I will allow you. I will get my little rubber stamp out and I will stamp my approval and say, you may lead on this issue because you have convinced me and I am satisfied with your explanation. But if I change my mind tomorrow, this gets revoked. We're not doing it, and you're going to once again have to litigate your case to me for why we should do what you want.
Rachel. Wait, Justy, Justy, you and Andrew were kind of in the back and forth there.
Yeah.
I feel like Justy, you and Rachel should have that back and forth.
Can I be honest? I'm actually kind of scared. I'm more scared of her than him. No,
She's scared.
It's out of respect. It's out of respect. I promise. You know, I'm not.
Look at my sweatshirt. I'm cuddly. I even look like a teddy bear.
She's a teddy bear. She's a teddy bear. Yeah. Aww. You know, honestly, I've done some thinking. You know, in my silent moments after our little, I guess, debate. And honestly, I've taken a lot into what you said in consideration. Yes. You know, I think maybe I felt maybe a little hostility, so I was trying to like argue back and forth. But honestly, I think I maybe tiny bit convinced a little bit about like your guys' view on submission. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, for sure. I agree 100% because I still need to do a lot of thinking on my own. I am going to take your guys' view into consideration and, really think about what submission means to me. And, I'm gonna do some thinking on my own. I don't want to submit to just these like theories, or like not theories, these definitions that are being told to me in one night. I'm gonna spend some time, thinking about it. I might even talk to my parents about it. My dad's an elder at our church, and I trust his word more than anything, more than any professor. So I might go talk to him about it. There's a lot of things I talk to my parents about, just to like, is this what I'm, or like just not even is this what I should believe, but is this like what you guys would teach me, or is this something you guys would endorse, just stuff like that. So I take everything you guys are saying, like what you just explained to us right there. I took that into consideration. I took what you said in consideration, and I took what Andrew said into consideration, and I think I'm just going to take some time to process and think about it. And I don't want to go into another debate because I know that I'm not going to win that debate.
I got the message.
Okay. Yeah.
In you guys' defense, real quick, every single one of you, and myself included, anybody who's like under the age of 75, you've been programmed your whole life with feminist presuppositions about the world and how it works and what to think about relationships and marriage. And that's all of us. All of us are born with that. We're programmed with it. And it takes questioning the programming and thinking stuff through to figure it out. And sometimes that's hard to do. It's painful to do because you're like, wait, have I had like a wrong idea about this whole time? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's what I've always heard, and it's what I've always seen in the culture and in the pop culture, and it's what I was raised with for a lot of people. So don't feel too bad about going, oh shit, I guess I've never really thought this through. I'm just working off of assumptions and propaganda that I've been told. So I mean, especially if you being really young like you guys, don't feel too bad about having to like stop and think stuff through and consider that maybe Andrew's not the meanest, craziest man on the internet. He might be doing his job, which is to like poke at your programming and try to untangle it, and that can feel shitty sometimes, to be honest. So but you guys are strong, independent women, and you can all handle it. I believe in you. You're queens. You're 10s. You can do this.
Oh, no. I think also it's just that there's this, like, as you said, there's this really broad version of what feminism is. And I think according to that broad version, I don't think a lot of us would consider ourselves feminism, which is basically hating men. We want to be better than men. Like a lot of this stuff, we never consider like, the small itty bitty nitty gritties of what of feminism, like submission. I've never considered that. I've considered it because it's biblical and I've read it in the Bible, but I've never considered what would I do in this situation? What would I do in that situation? So it's a lot of things that are kind of being uncovered in this podcast, really, that I never would have even considered outside of this. I'm like, social media really shows us this like small little group of what feminism really is.
Great response.
So honestly, like getting different points of view, getting people from different denominations, like you guys are from Orthodox, I'm from Reformed Presbyterian, like I'm hearing so many different information. I'm just like absorbing it all,
Yeah.
So honestly, it's actually kind of exciting.